Hi everyone, I'm Marcy and today I'm making Hatch Green Chile Stew. This is a staple dish in New Mexico. You really don't have to wait for the weather to get cold to make it because it's one of those things where if you have green chili, this is a great way to use it. I have shared this recipe with you before. I made it with cubed pork meat, which is my favorite way to have green chili stew. But today, to be different, I'm going to be making it with ground beef. Either way, it's going to be a delicious meal that you're going to love, especially with some hot flour tortillas. It is comfort food at its best. If you've been following our videos, you know that I just went to Hatch, New Mexico over Labor Day weekend to pick up our yearly supply of green chili. So right now my freezer is fully stocked. And if you did the same, go ahead and pull out one of those bags of green chili because you're going to be needing about 1 cup once it's been roasted, peeled, and chopped. And if you don't have any in your freezer right now, you can find it in a jar. Look for 505 Southwestern brand. That's really good Hatch chili. Now, aside from that, you're going to need about 1.5 pounds of ground beef. You'll need a small onion that's either yellow or white chopped, 2 Roma tomatoes chopped, 3 garlic cloves. You'll need about 4 to 5 russet potatoes, and I like to cut them in little bite-sized cubes. You'll need salt and pepper to taste, about 1 teaspoon or 2 of cumin. Now, if you don't like it, you can leave it out. I happen to really love it, so sometimes I use up to 1 tablespoon or more. And then usually when I make this, I like to use either chicken or beef broth, and I buy it in one of those cartons that's, I think it's like 4 cups, and I pour that because you need enough liquid to cover all your ingredients when they're in the pot, and then I have to add a little additional water. So it ends up being about 5 cups, but today I'm just going to be using water because I don't have any beef or chicken broth, and then I'm just going to be adding one of these little beef bouillon cubes. You don't need to do it, you can just go with water by itself, but I just think it gives it a nice little extra flavor. So let's go ahead and get started. I first place a large saucepan on the stovetop over medium-high heat and pour in just enough oil to coat the bottom of the pan. Once it's hot, I add in the ground beef and break it up as it begins to cook. I create a little well on the side so that I can add the diced onion and give it some fry time before combining it with the meat. I let it brown a little more, then mince the garlic directly into the pan. Next, I add the chopped green chili and the diced tomatoes. This is when everything starts to smell amazing. In go the potatoes. I give it a little mix. Now I can add in the seasonings, starting with the salt and pepper. Then I pour in the water. And I just realized I was forgetting the cumin and the beef bouillon. I just break up the little cube and then mix until it dissolves. I mentioned earlier you want to make sure the liquid fully covers everything in the pot, and I'm going to add a little more water so that there's plenty of broth in my stew. By the way, I should mention if you like your broth more thick than runny, you can add about 1 tablespoon of flour while you're still frying the meat, and that will give you a thicker broth. I just prefer mine like this. Now I'm going to let it come to a boil. When it starts to boil, reduce the heat, cover with a lid, and then let it simmer until the potatoes are cooked tender, which should give me just enough time to make a few flour tortillas. I made my masa earlier and I've been letting it rest, so I'm just gonna roll them out now. Now, to be completely honest with you, I mostly buy store-bought tortillas, but it's good to make them once in a while to make sure I haven't forgotten how to make them. I mentioned that we went to Hatch to pick up our green chili for the year. Now that we live in Las Cruces, it's only about a 45-minute drive, which makes it really nice. So in fact, I had gone out there before that. My daughter and I drove out because I wanted a chile ristra to hang by my front door. And that really is the only thing that I've done since we've been here. I loved everything about this house. I didn't want to change a thing. But the front porch area, I did do like just a mini makeover. I painted the door just a darker turquoise color. And if you don't know, in New Mexico, painting your door a turquoise blue is traditional. So anyway, I just wanted it darker, so I painted the front door and the window trim as well. And then I went to Old Mesilla and I picked up a Mexican blanket to cover the cushion on the bench that we have out there. And then so to complete the whole look, I had to go to Hatch to get chile ristra, and we hung it out there. And I really love how it all looks. So I'll show you real quickly just a video that I shot of that so that you can see what we've done. Other than that, I'm not really doing anything, just leaving everything as is. We're gonna wait till the spring to start tackling the backyard, and I'm really anxious to plant that garden. The last tortilla is done. These look really good. Look at that. The green chili stew is done, so we are ready to eat. I've got some butter on my tortilla, my mouth is watering, and I am so ready to try this. Yum. That is absolutely delicious. This is what I would call comida sencilla, which means simple food. There's nothing fancy about it, but it feels like home. It just fills you up, and it's absolutely delicious. I hope you try it. Thanks so much for checking out this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I also invite you to follow me at Marcy Inspired on Instagram and Facebook. Until next time, blessings from my kitchen to yours.